everyone, Mackie here. It is August 11th, 11:27 a.m. And my God, it has been a long time since I've seen you guys, or it's been a long time since I uploaded a video like this. Let me just give you an explanation on why. I think both of them are more of personally in both of my cases. I have gone through sickness. I've also gone through the death of a family. Um, I have, you know, been in the mourning process and the grieving process, of course, in my absence. So I have not done much League of Legends content other than the shorts that I have done in a long while. In fact, I haven't even done a long form content since the LCS preview, to be honest. And I kind of apologize for that. Actually, no, I do not apologize for anything because family comes first, and it's the most important thing. If people know, they know. But it is great for me to be back. The second most important reason is that I am recording this 6 days before my 29th birthday. I'm going to be 29 this Monday. I mean, next Monday, by the way. And, oh my goodness, I am closer to 30 than I never expected to realize. It's weird. A nearly 30-year-old person who is living with their parents in Jamaica with a lot of anime stuff. And yeah, I just cannot believe I'm going to be close to 30. But the thing about it is that I never changed. I don't even change the way I am, the way I be, and thank God for that. So thank God Almighty for all of that. So, anyways, it's been great seeing you guys. It's been a long time coming. It has been too long. And normally I'll be talking about like all the matches and the biggest stars and all the headlines. But let's be honest, everybody. Summer season is pretty much like the equivalent of a baseball dead zone. Like summer is kind of like the dog day afternoon. If anybody watches the movie, you know. It's probably like one of those not so exciting afternoons in most cases. It's not going to be the most exciting thing, let's be honest. Unless you're like the Red Sox fan who is actually on a hot streak right now, there is basically nothing much to talk about. And we're in a dead period, as seen by the viewership, as seen by the interest, of course. People do not care about Summer League of Legends at all. Except when, the playoffs and the chances to go to Worlds are on the line, then everything will be building up. But, for now, we're into that little bit of grace period within themselves, where every team is just sort out themselves, sort out the meta, and then separate the wheat from the chaff, I could guess. So, so to make up for my absence and also give you the content that you really desperately needed, I decided to give you my league headlines from the last couple of weeks that I was sick and in my period of mourning. So, so there's a lot to digest in the League of Legends space. But I believe the very first headline that I'm going to do is pretty much simple. I guess you can see where this is going. If you look at the LCK table, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that T1 are on top of their Legends group by about 2 games over Hollow Life Esports and Gen G in the standings. And you can say that KT is in there with a shout, but let's be honest, I just don't see them beating any of those top 3 teams. And D Plus are like far away, of course. But you have to look at this and it's a really cluster cluck of a table with the best 3 teams. Now you're thinking to yourself, Akeem, this is not where the craziness comes from. Actually, no. The craziness came from the fact that T1 plays against High Life Esports just a couple of days ago. And then T1 decided to make a statement that, let's just be honest, pisses off a lot of fans. Because if there's one thing that T1 has been doing over the last several years with players and everything that comes about it, it's pissing off the fans without even the slightest case of logic. And no, I'm not going to do the Kespa Cup, although you can say that DN Supers beat Gen G. Oh my god, DN Supers beat Gen G! Yeah, right. Okay, sure. Okay. Where is it? Where is the headline? Where is the headline? Where is it? Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's supposed to be a headline here. There's supposed to be a headline. Where is it? Okay. Okay. I'll find it. I'll find it, guys. I'll find it. I'll find the headline. I'll find the headline. I'll find the headline. Okay. Right. So let's just see. Let's just see. And also, by the way, the T1 homestand is going to be taking place, I believe, this week. Or, yeah. No. Oh, they have even a streaming schedule. My goodness. Let me just see. Oh, yeah. This is the low statement. This is the statement that T1 made prior to their match against Honor Life Esports. And let me just put my phone on silent. Just give me a minute. I just need to sort these things out. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. So let me just sort myself out. Okay, vibrate is okay. All right. So, anyways, this is the statement that is getting a lot of views for pretty much all the wrong reasons. Although you can say that if you're T1 management, it's pretty much like the right reasons for them, I guess. So it said, "Hello, this is T1. Please note that there will be a lineup change ahead of today's match against Hana Life Esports. As part of the coaching staff's preparations, T1's Academy jungler Painter will be making his LCK debut in the starting lineup. Please send your energy and support to the team." Okay, I will give you about 2 minutes or a couple of minutes or about, let's just say 30 seconds to tell me what's wrong with this statement. Okay, you know what? Time's up. Everything. Everything is literally wrong with this statement. Like, everything. First of all, you never addressed the obvious outcome, which is what happened to Owner? Why is Owner not in the lineup? Is there a specific reason? Is there a health issue? Is there like some kind of discipline situation, of course? There is, of course, a logical reason by some of the people, and they're just saying, "Oh, we need better shot calling." Yeah, that is pretty much the reason. Okay, sure. Cool. That is pretty much the reason you need shot calling. As if the team doesn't have much shot calling, of course, as themselves. So this statement just feels like a big, big slap in the face to Owner, to their fans, and most importantly, to the crazy, crazy T1 fandom that, well, by the way, they could just be pissed off with a drop of a hat. Any kind of this statement is going to piss off a lot of fans, mostly T1 fans. Anybody. Like, what were you thinking? You never even give me the slightest reason for Owner's benching. Although, even if you do get a reason, you might get trucked by the T1 fans anyways. But it's just so on brand with T1. It's just so on brand with this T1 organization over the last couple of years. Remember last year when Gumi Yusi got benched by I believe it was listen, I know who it was. Yeah. So let me just say. Okay. Gumayushi got benched last year. I don't know who was a replacement, of course, but Gumayushi got benched. Hang on, let me just pause and just tell me, a lot of the details. Okay, so in case many people do not know, last year, Gumayushi, one of the star 80 carries for this team, got benched by Smash. And let's be honest, everyone hated it. T1 fans hated it. Actually, no, mostly T1 fans hated this decision. And they hated it because he's a star player. He's the most popular player on the team. He's one of the big faces of the T1 domination in the last couple of years, all that jazz. And you're replacing him with a guy like Smash. And also, you're kind of pissed off Gumayushi to the point that once he came back, he was gangbusters all the way to winning MVP of last year's Worlds. And then, you know what happened? He got sent to Life Esports, along with Zeus, by the way. So, yeah. And by the way, a little spoiler alert, they lost to Life Esports 2-1. Thank you very much. And now, a year later, we came back to the same situation once again. T1 benching one of their star players and pissing off the fans again. And now, we don't know if Owner even gonna come back into the team. But I will tell you one thing. If Owner comes back, he will have fire under his pants. He's gonna have fire under his belly. He's gonna be pissed off. He's gonna go gun-ho against any challenger anywhere. And he's going to win another MVP. And it's going to be the same situation that we have last year with Gumayushi, although his contract is not going to run out until 2028. But the point is that T1 are trying to play chess here, in which that's saying that, hey, guys, none of these matches are important. The MSI, the LCK, none of these are important. What's important is Worlds. Worlds is like the be and all competition, and as long as we get our players fresh, or get our players' minds in the right order come playoff time and come Worlds time, that is the most important thing that matters. It's not the LCK tournaments, it's not the MSI tournaments, it's Worlds. And let's be honest, I give T1 the benefit of the doubt because, by the way, they are the back-to-back LCK Worlds champions, by the way. They have given them the benefit of the doubt by almost everybody in the community, including myself. Stupid alarms. They deserve a lot of leeway for this. But even then, even if you try to play chess so many times and seeing that this might be the right thing to do, to the T1 fandom, it ain't the right thing to do. And also, may I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that T1 have a homestand coming up. And there's a lot of fans who bought their tickets must be thinking to themselves, oh, I'm going to see one of my favorite players named Owner, for God's sakes. And now that I'm not gonna see Owner in a homestand, screw this, I do not want this ticket. Ain't no way you're gonna get a refund back. Ain't no way. It's the same thing with theater. It's the same thing with all the sports. It's the same thing with all the things. Subject card is due to change. It's the same thing with everything in sport. Subject card may come to change. And this might subject to change right now. To the point that you are buying a ticket for the team, not for the player. So if you're buying a ticket for the player, I'm sorry, man, you ain't gonna get a refund back. You can go all the way to the Korean court, and you're never gonna get a refund back. Because you already bought the ticket for the team, not the player. And also, you may bought the ticket months in advance without knowing all of these stuff. Months. So congratulations, you just have a ticket, and you're kind of like, you're stuck. But even then, T1 management just feels like they're thinking of the long-term benefit without the short-term pain that comes with it. They just don't know. I understand why they did this. And let's be honest. I do not think owner himself is having a particularly good year by his lofty standards. By his lofty standards, I don't think owner is having a particular good year for T1. By his lofty standards. So I think this is more of T1 management trying to shake up the whole thing, trying to, get the fire under their belly, that kind of thing. And if that works and that leads T1 to another title, great. Great. T1 management are probably the smartest people in the world. They're probably no better than all of them. But once again, you're doing this to piss off the fans who just wanted to see their star player show up day in and day out. But the problem is that it's a lot chaotic, as many people do, because I also mentioned about the Kesper Cup being played, of course. There's also the LCK. There's also the Asia Games, which is a really important event, of course, for the LCK and for military exceptions. There is, of course, Worlds, and there's also Red Bull events, and then they have to do this all over again, 365. Well, not 365, but hell, they even have streaming schedules. They even have streaming schedules. Let me just take this off. They even have streaming schedules. Like, look at this. They even have like streaming schedules, ladies and gentlemen, for the team. Like, they cannot even get a break these times. So I think listen, T1 management must be thinking to themselves. Owner has been playing a lot of games. We need him to rest. We need him for the long haul. And also give them better shot calling at the same time so that once owner comes back, we may have all guns blazing through Worlds and everything like that. If that is the reason why T1 said that, you could just put down in a statement, you could just say, hey guys, unfortunately, due to the shot calling issues and of course the amount of games being played, we decided to bench owner for our T1 Academy painter for the next couple of weeks until owner is as healthy and as fresh enough to get us ready for the playoffs and Worlds beyond. We sorry that we never communicated that sooner. We never give you an explanation. And we hope that you can support the team in any shape of way throughout the season. You could have just do that with that statement and all will be forgiven. But no, you just given T1 fans and mostly now League of Legends community peoples more fuel to the fire. Like, this is like Gumi all over again, but even worse. Well, actually, the Gumi situation is worse, but this is like way worse. Well, okay, not. Gumi situation last year was worse. This is bad. This is bad in more levels than one. And I just don't know what is the end game for this. Like, if you put Goon owner back, great, but it's not going to solve his problem. He feels like he's been disrespected by T1, and he feels like he's going to need to move to another bigger team. Let's say Gen G, because right now Gen G are looking like they're cooked right now, and maybe Canyon is going to another level, another. How do I say this? Canyon is looking like he's going to move away. I know owner have a 2-year contract, but I can see Gen G can spend all the dollars to get owner. I can see that happening. And I don't know, man. T1 they did this to themselves. They literally did it themselves without any logic, any reasoning, and just like playing the long game. And you know what? That's great for winning 3 Worlds titles in a row, but there comes a time where all of that thing is going to come back to bite you in the butt. And consider what happened to MSI. Worlds could be the one that can finally bite them in the butt. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I could be wrong, and maybe we might see another T1 Worlds victory, and I will have clown nose and a really bad face, I guess. So that is pretty much 20 minutes of my T1 ranting, of course, about this whole thing. Let's go to this headline number 2. We got Lion and Liquid owning the LCS. And right now, I can say this with certainty that the LCS is pretty much a Team Liquid Lion world, and there is nothing you can do about it. In case many people do not know, both of these teams are 3-0. And by the way, Lion are 3-0 without Inspired, for God's sakes. That's just wild. The fact that okay, yes, Lion has like four of the five team players that has been there, and almost like a kind of the passenger of that team. But the point remains is that Lion have not missed a beat in this split, and look at them. They are looking like head and shoulders above the rest. They and Team Liquid are kind of like dog walking this LCS. Like right now, they are looking like Shopify Rebellion and even Cloud9 cannot even get to their stratosphere. They cannot even get to their level right now. It's embarrassing. Look at the embarrassment. Look at this embarrassment. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. Trying to draw a line here. Okay, just all right. Yeah, just look at this embarrassment. Just look at this embarrassment between Liquid and Lion and everybody else. Just look at this embarrassment. It is incredibly embarrassment. And oh, by the way, it's not going to get any better because Liquid is going to face the Sky's Toast coming up. And Lion, I believe Lion, let me just look at the upcoming matches, by the way. I believe Lion's next match is going to be against Sentinels. I do not feel good about this. So you can say that Liquid and Lion's going to easily win this one. And then you got, actually, that is going to be the last cupcake matchup between these two for good. Because come the next 2 weeks, something big is going to happen. Now, you can say that this week is kind of like a throwaway week. Of course, next week, week 5, is going to be like FlyQuest kind of like eating up some easy wins, of course, against Sentinels and Dignitas. But week 6, week 6, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be absolutely tasty. Because I believe this is going to be where the road trip for Lion is going to take place in Mexico. So that means Lion, Shopify Rebellion, and Team Liquid and Cloud9 will be involved in both matches that take place in Mexico. And that's going to be from the 22nd and then the 30th. I think the days are kind of confusing, but they'll sort this one out. It's going to be like pretty much in 2 days. But Lion versus Team Liquid in Mexico, it's going to be absolutely atmospheric. Okay, it's going to be played at the 5,000 seat venue, probably the same venue for Worlds in 2022. But it's still going to be 5,000 people sitting around for an epic matchup between two of the best teams in all LCS. And it's amazing. What really grinds my gears, and I think David Shinedock pretty much said it best, and I pretty much said it best, is that Lion, in year 1 of the LCS, have 2 LCS titles, top 3 in MSI, and a road trip, and watch parties to sweeten the deal. Meanwhile, teams like Team Liquid, and the Cloud9s, and the FlyQuest, and even Dignitas, and Shopify Rebellion cannot even get a single road trip. Shopify, you can't even get a single road trip to even Toronto? What the hell? Like, you guys are the reason why the LCS are in a bad state right now. It's not about, can you beat an LPL team or an LCK team? It's not even about that. I can even look at the viewership right now for LCS because it's really bad right now. It's closer to like 100,000 and it's peaking downwards at this point. To the point of like, Lion is giving you guys a blueprint of how to engage fandom in a sea full of crap right now. Yes, I know Lion is not a North American team. They're more of a Latin team. They're a Mexican team. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. They find their niche. They find the fan base. And they got a good team to rally against. Like Dokla. I can just rally around Dokla. Team players and fans can rally around Dokla. His content is popping off. And I will get to, him later. His content is popping off. His personality is popping off. And the way he plays is popping off right now. Mexican fans will love Dokla. Mexican fans right now will love Dokla when he comes to Mexico right now. And that, my friends, is how you build a fandom. You build a fandom by having a region, by having a location, and stick to it. And the fact that Lion is doing this in year one of the LCS pisses me off. It pisses me off. It pisses a lot of community off. It pisses a lot of GMs off. Oh, no. Actually, no. The people who are on top of those teams, the David Arquettes and the Etiennes, they should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves to realize you have all of this for years upon end. And Lion just said in year one, oh, we can do that. Bet. And just did it like that. Like, it's not hard to do that. There is a 10,000 seat stadium in Coney Island right now. You can just book 2 matches in Coney Island, for God's sakes. You don't need. Listen, the days of Madison Square Garden, 70,000 stadium, it's over. The venture capitals have dried up. The viewership has gone down a tank right now. And right now, this is more of like, hey, we gotta sacrifice a lot in order to get what we want. We sacrifice fandom and all these kind of tickets in order for us to get road trips. Which I said is cool. If we're going to get more, road trips, we have to sacrifice a lot in order to do that. And we saw what Common Corp did, and we saw what MKOI did, by the way. And it's also like the same sentiment I have for the LCS teams that have been established for so long with so much and can't do anything. It's the same thing I said with G2 and Fnatic and SK and all the other teams. It's like you allowed MKOI and Carmine Corp to just walk all over you and just do better than you guys. You should be ashamed of themselves. It's not on the players' fault. It's not on the general management and all that kind of stuff. It's the people on top that are responsible for all of this should be at fault in there. You should never allow Lions to do this. Never. You should never allow a Latin American team. That's even make it worse. Lion is not even an LCS team. They're a Latin team. LATAM. You make Mexico be your dogs. The same way Mexico being America's dog in the under-20 CONCACAF Championship. Dogs are zeros, by the way. You can't allow to do that. You are making... America's pissed right now. No, not Americans. American League of Legends fans are pissed right now. Like, listen, good for you, Lion. They did what they needed to do, and they did it well. But even I'm pissed off right now. And maybe this could be the fire. And I'm saying this like the same thing with T1 and the owner situation. Maybe this might light a fire that might give every LCS organization to say, you better do a roadshow. You better do a roadshow. Because if Lion can do it, so can you. I want to see Team Liquid in New York. I want to see Shopify Rebellion in Toronto or Montreal. I want to see like Cloud9 being taken place in Miami, Florida, for God's sakes. I don't care where it's going to take place. I don't care if it's 5,000 seed or 10,000 seed or even like 50,000 seats. Actually, 50,000 is not possible, but I don't care. Just find a place to do it and just do it. And but we might bleed a lot of money and do all that kind of stuff. If it grows a fandom, it's all worth it. It's all worth it for the fans. Right now, nobody, and not even LCS fans, care about your league anymore. They care about your T1s and your, your Gen Gs of the world. They care about that. Nobody gives a damn about the LCS right now. And nobody in like the eastern regions, a la New York or Boston or Philadelphia, is caring about that right now. They wanted to watch LCK. They wanted to watch like T1 or something. And you guys have a golden opportunity to pull some fandom and grow some hope, but you can't. And now we're just stuck here with, Lions going to be entertaining like the Latin crowd and Georgia for the finals. And that's... I don't know, man. You should be better than this, okay? These teams with so many years of legacy should be better than this. They should be better than this. I don't know. It's just pissing me off. Anyways, that does it. I would like to talk about the LCS, but I just can't right now. Although I would like to say that this interaction between it's literally pounding my head right now. This whole thing is pounding my head right now. Trying to talk through it. This interaction between Darduch and and Douglas. One of my favorite interactions, of course. It's literally one of my favorite interactions. Yeah. So, by the way, you know that. By the by the way, but these two teams are facing each other August 30th, and both of them are undefeated. And let's just see. Is there any interaction? Is it is was there any interaction? Um no. Also, by the way, Quid was absolutely brilliant in that series against FlyQuest. I was expected to see FlyQuest get a game out of them, but Quid just make them look like a dog. So nothing much to say. And also, by the way, let's be honest. That Sunday's matchup was probably the quickest Sunday we ever seen. 105 minutes of games. Like, Team Liquid and Lion just dog walking both of these matchups like it's just nothing. The game was over by around 7 p.m. Eastern time. Like, what the heck? And also, that pretty much said that Flagwoods are not ready for like top of the dog right now. They're good, but they're just not as good enough like your Team Liquids and your Lions of the World. They are more like the gatekeepers to your Cloud9s and your Sentinels of the world, and that's pretty much it is what it is, I guess. And that's pretty much it. So I was trying to find a video of the whole Dardarch and Dokla meetup situation, which is kind of cool, of course, saying that Dokla being there is the reason why Dardarch coming back. And yes, Dignitas are not great. Let's be honest. They got cakewalk by Lion. But hey, seeing Dardarch back just proved that even though you have not been great in the first few years, you can just always come back. The door is always open. With a lot of discipline, with a lot of time, with a lot of learning, you can overcome all of this and become a successful LCS player. Like, look at Dokla right now. Look what he has done in the last couple of years. I mean, he was in Optic Gaming a couple of years ago, and then he was in the Wilderness, and then find himself in RNG, and then revitalize himself in 100 Thieves, and now in a Lion squad. And by the way, if it wasn't for that visa situation, Dokla would have been in. But even then, he took that opportunity with both hands, and he's one of the most incredible personalities we have ever seen from a League of Legends situation. Like, if Griffin is my favorite player on that team, Dokla is my second. You can say that Dokla is my second favorite player for the LCS. Why not? And it's also inspired everybody that just because your time in the LCS has not been kind in the first couple of instances doesn't mean that you will be shut out. The door is always open for another opportunity like this. And Dardarch is now the new face of the Dignitas team. And I'm not saying that Dignitas are going to be good enough to win a lot of games. Like, look at them. But it inspires me hope. It gives me hope, of course, for like players that have not been great a couple of years ago to just refine themselves and reform. So for that, I thank you for both Dokla and Doddridge to giving, inspiration for some of the older veterans, I guess. Yeah, great. Now, let's go to headline number 3. So, to the LCS right now. And yeah, I would like to say this that the LCS is. Oh, sorry. Just transition again. I would like to say that the LEC is pretty much a G2 Common Corp transitional finals bloodbath. Let me just say this. I think Common Corp and G2 are going to make the finals. They're going to face each other the first time, and then they'll have the second time with the finals in Nice. I think it's going to be G2 Common Corp finals. Like, yes, G2 have not locked themselves in, but you could say that they're facing off against Shifters. I don't have no hope for that. So you can say that G2 are kind of locked in with Common Corp. And you got Vitality and Giant X. And then you got Navi and Movistar. And then you got the rest of them. And you got the rest. But I think the big headlines is Koi right there. The big headline is Koi. Actually, no. Let me just highlight it right now. There you go. That is movie star Koi's situation right now. 2-4, 6-10, -4 game score or game difference, and they're 2-4, and all they needed to do is to just get into the top four to have themselves a home stand. Because let's remind everybody that the top four teams in the LEC will get to play in MKOI's home stadium in Madrid. And that is huge for MKOI fans. Huge for the MKOI fans, huge for the League of Legends fans, huge for the Spanish fans. And MKOI missing out would be catastrophic. Now, listen, I'm not sure that SK or Heretics can even make it, and Fnatic and Shifters are kind of like gonzo, of course. So you can say that MKOI are kind of like safe. But the way they've been playing right now, like, listen, let's be honest. I will give them an excuse for losing to G2 and to losing to Combine Corp. I will give them an excuse for losing to both of these teams. Like, okay, let's be honest. I will give them an excuse to losing to MKOI. I will also give them an excuse to, well, okay. I'll give them an excuse to losing to Koi. Okay, sorry. I'll give them an excuse to lose to G2. I will also give you an excuse to lose to Common Corp. But I'm sorry. I will never give you an excuse to lose to Giant X and get swept. Like you allowed Giant X to beat you. I cannot even believe it. Oh, by the way, what was their next loss, by the way? Oh, all right. I forgot to go 0-3 in Paris. They lost to Vitality as well. So, MKOI are dug themselves in a 0-3 hold and have only won 2 series as well, and now lost to Giant X. And oh, by the way, I heard that JoJo Pin might come back to North America. That's the rumor, but I just heard a little bit of rumor. This is dire straits right now if you're an MKOI fan. This is dire straits. Just imagine MKOI not being in top four and have to play in Madrid. I mean, yeah, it's going to be fine playing in Madrid, but there'll be empty seats. There'll be empty seats from far out right now. It will be a financial disaster, the likes of which we have pretty much never seen and probably will be seen in a couple of years. But if MKOI does not make top four, that's bad, man. That's bad. If you cannot even make at least top four, like financially, you're being ruined. You're going to be in ruin financially. And that's not good. That's not good for them. They are reliant on the homestands. They are reliant on the fan base. And without that fan base, without even playing it in front of their fans, who cares? Who cares if a Comic Corp or a G2 are going there? And even by Vitality. They don't care. They want to see like MKOI and the Spanish teams and Supa and El Yoya. They want to see that. If they don't get to see that in Madrid, screw you. I'm going to watch Real Madrid, I guess. So this is looking bad. This is looking dire. Absolutely looking dire. And also, I would like to say that G2 Perk's situation is doing a pretty much fine right now. Like, yes, you can say that their only loss was against Common Corp. But let's be honest, Common Corp just leaps and bounds about everybody else. Although you can say that G2 in regular season is different from G2 in playoffs. And that might be tested, of course, in the playoff time. But you can say that Perks have been doing a good job keeping G2 in check, playing discipline well, with all those picks, of course. And I have to say that I don't feel, listen, right now, I don't have like a strong player on G2 that made me feel like, ooh, he's the best player on the team. Like, if I look at the MVP standings, of course, is that Caps have been MVP and Broken Blade. Huh. Okay. So you could say that Caps and BB are kind of like making this work on the Perks. And you can say that Labrov is doing well, Skewmon has been okay-ish, and so does Hansama. But you have to say that Perks is making this G2 team go. And if this Perks team is doing well and keep momentum going into the playoffs, woo, woo, Common Corp, as good as you have in the first time around, I am not sure you might gonna beat G2 in this form come finals and playoffs, of course. However, G2 have not won in France, by the way, since Common Corp taking the franchise. And the tournament final will be in France. So who knows? Who knows? That will be a big, big situation. Okay. I wanted to do more headlines, but I'm gonna do something quick. Team Ticket Wales. Let me just do some quick headlines. Team Ticket Wales being the first team. Be the first team to qualify for Worlds. Because I think they're making the LCP look like their dog right now, and because of their championship point system and all kinds of stuff, Team Ticket Wales qualified for Worlds before everybody else's. And by the way, they did it in early August. Like early August, they qualified for Worlds. Like, what the heck? That's weird, I guess. But T6 Wells going through, why not? And then LPL race heating up with BLG and Top Esports fighting for the top. And I swear to God, if Top Esports manage to make it another international tournament, I will just feel uneasy right now. I feel uneasy if Top Esports make it to another international event as an LPL fan. You could say that they and Top Esports, BLG and Top Esports kind of like 1 and 2 best teams in the region, of course. And of course for Group Nevada, EDG and NIP are kind of like top dogs. LNG, yeah, no good for me. Oh, actually no, EDG sucks balls. It's yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to say more LPL headlines, but I decided to like save it for another time. And that concludes it. Those are the headlines, of course, from a long last couple of weeks. So not much to tell about, of course, not much to talk about. It's just me rambling about and talking about, of course. So, anyways, we're closer to 100 subscribers. We are 4 away from 100 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Um, this has been a blast. The fact that I'm close to 100 subscribers without any sponsorships or gambling ads or prediction markets, it's incredible for me. And yeah, so it's been great. So thank you, everybody, for subscribing, liking, commenting, all kind of stuff. And the next video that I'm going to do, it's going to be something Worlds related. And since Worlds is going to be the be and all end all tournament, I want to do something that is Worlds related as we march forward into Worlds, of course. That's going to take place in October. So I want to do something that is Worlds related. I want to do like a Worlds rewind back. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So that's pretty much my next video. I will find time to do it, and I will find when I'm going to do it. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to this video. Please make sure we get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. And I will see you all next time. Walk good in the Lord. Drink some water, get your pets neutered, grow some trees and all kinds of stuff. And I'll see you all next time.